turn this. Oh, cause this gonna be rough right here, boy. Ooh, this gonna be rough. Let me get my head together.
Already. You agree to it? You good?
Yeah, I got you.
To record already. Once again, we are back, y'all. Part two of the interview with Jason, the Credit King. King, man, we know there's been a lot of stuff we going in depth. We taking our time with this one, man, because it deserves that respect of all the things that have happened on this journey. I know there's a lot of people whom we just met, some folk that have been knowing Jason and I, but there are some people that both of us just met in 2020, and they probably want to hear a point of view on some things that have happened and what's been going on since then. And my brother Jason, man, he was well known uh, in the digital real estate empire, the ABS empire, well known and well
Mm-hmm.
respected. So now we up to the aftermath, and let me want to say this, Jason, before we begin this part two. You know, everybody, man, you can just take it with a grain of salt. Things happen. Everybody don't agree, probably don't see things the same way. But one thing that we are is, as grown men, we try to move forward with respect for differences. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that you may feel different about it than I do, or different about it than Jason do, or what I'm saying. Me and Jason might not agree on everything. You know what I'm saying, or what's done happen, that what happened there in digital real estate. But at the same time, the growth that we show is being able to understand one another's viewpoint, and then at the
Mm-hmm.
same time move forward with decency and respect. So if anybody's heard anything on part one and you felt disrespected or anything, that was not our intention, you know. But we wanted to be truthful about disrespect that we felt. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to be honest and open about everything, man. And but we're not harboring that, because life goes on. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna harbor it.
Mm-hmm.
We reflected on it, and but life goes on. We're gonna keep it moving, man. And hopefully y'all can do the same as well, man. And the love is there, So I just wanted to put that out there, and people can, either take it or leave it alone, my brother. But so now we are at the aftermath of digital real estate. And I know when I was still there with you through the process. And I believe that first thing that I remember after the program bottomed up, or however you want to call it, after they stopped it, BWO, all that stuff. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing I think I remember that what was the first thing that we
Man.
the
All right.
journey went into? It was something.
So when it all was said and done, it was a mad house. So basically on the back end, they were dealing with this software, whatever, called BizCo. What it wasn't called BizCo at all. It was another software. I told you what the software was. And
Yes, yes.
and I guess old Jake was trying to get out of he was trying to get out of the insurance industry and get into SaaS products, having a product that really produced everything in one. And I took on to it because I was kind of, you know, tech savvy. So then when they had VizCo and they had building all of this stuff, so this was like at the end of BWO and stuff, and they had all this going on. So I was teaching people how to use this stuff, how to go in
Mm-hmm.
back in and do all of this stuff. But what I didn't know was from those trips and all those things, like they were going to Puerto Rico and they were doing all of this. So they spending the money up. Money, the company going belly up. But we don't know. So by the time when it came back from the first retreat and then they came back, everything started falling apart. They arguing amongst each other. Him and all of them going at it. They
Mm-hmm.
hiding it from the team. So they had us in some kind of BS morning meeting, and then one of the guys that I brought in, he's saying, you know, Ben and Jake don't need to deal with y'all, this. And I was like, that's a bunch of BS. I said, I told him, I said, I brought you to Jake and Ben, and you turned your back on me and went behind me and cut a deal with Jake. So I say that was the first of the red flag, little unrighteousness that that I kept feeling. And then all of a sudden, everything changed overnight. Then we was all in teams. Then we were trying to do this, that, and the third. We were going out to Dallas. So I saw them trying to scrape together. Then they had it to where people were getting paid by their value. So I was in my mind, I was like, you got the audacity to start changing the rules of people getting paid by the value. You should have cut me the check right then if it came from the value, because I helped you get to 2.5 million. I helped y'all.
That's right.
And then when it came down to the BWO situation, y'all called me at 5 in November 22nd at 5:55 p.m. and asked me exactly what you think about us going into business with 19 Keys, with Chris Cole, with Derek Grace. And I told them no. I told them no. And I was like,
so you was against it.
I was against it from the beginning because I didn't.
Well, who was for it? I mean, for them to move forward with it, who was for it?
That was a conversation between Jake and Ben. So I didn't. They called me because I was one of the persons, because I was one of the people that came from out of digital real estate and then came into the company and built it up. And then they brought Sister Victoria, Sean, Brother Khan, King Cam. But I was the first.
Yeah.
I was the first.
Remember that.
And then I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I didn't harbor no ill will towards them in the beginning, but at the end, when I started seeing them, they put me and Kane in the group. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Me and Kane should have been working together from the beginning, because she was tech savvy. She knew all this stuff. I like, why wouldn't you put me in the group with somebody that we could bounce ideas off of? And you know, I watched them treat that woman in a type of way that should no woman be treated.
Lord have mercy.
It was things that they said to him, and then I was like, you know, you ain't got to do it like that. But
now, you know, that being said, it don't seem like she the type of woman that would allow nobody to treat her like that. Because she's a headstrong sister from what I could see. She's very headstrong, and you know, she ain't finna let not no dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this. It was times that I was more, hey, Kane, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, because I could feel her aggression boiling over. I could feel it boiling over. Now, you know, me and Kane, we had our differences, went our separate ways, but I still love her. But she's still a good woman. But when she there, she not playing. So they went on and they did all of this stuff. Then it started coming out. Okay, we did the BizCo thing. You know, we did that first cohort after the cohort, all the other stuff. And I was like, I'm like, this ain't working. And then here come they put a meeting together. Oh yeah, I spent too much money. I was like, yeah, you spent too much money. You doing private jets. You got bodyguards, you buying cars, you doing all of this, you broke.
I didn't understand the bodyguard thing. I'm like, who trying to get at you, man?
Who trying to get at you? The only person that needed a bodyguard was Ben.
Probably, yeah. That's probably the only one.
That's the only person I could see that needed a bodyguard was Ben. I was like, Jake, ain't nobody worrying about you. You didn't nobody care. So my thing was, I'm like, I say, y'all some young fools. Y'all done changed the young men and turned to young fools. And I see y'all doing all of this stuff. And then it got bad. I remember they sent a text message saying, hey, y'all need to go ahead and start funding part-time jobs and all this type of stuff. Now, with all of this stuff, I'm going on.
Wait a minute. Part-time jobs?
Yeah. Now, it went from 7 people to 50-something people on the payroll. 50-something people that didn't even need to be doing that, wasn't doing nothing. They were just collecting money, sitting around. While me, Kane, and everybody else was going bananas trying to fix this, patch this together, do this. He
Ooh,
paying people that don't need to be paid. He paying people to stroke his ego. So
okay. There you
the
go.
pride for him to say that he took 50 people and gave them jobs was one of the biggest things. And I was like, bro, you should have took 7 people and made them CEOs. That would have been even worse. Oh, well, even better. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
But
I
Damon, he
get
went
you.
to the thing with Damon John, and Damon John told him, you ain't gonna have that business before the end of the year.
Uh,
The dude with the Shark Tank, he told Jake that to his face, and he was right. He told him that to his face. You ain't gonna have that business to the end of the year. I can already tell how you were. And his
uh,
arrogance, his
yep,
bullheadedness, it was like I said, I started looking at him, I was like, yo, you shouldn't have done that. I like you got a multimillionaire, a man that came that's almost a billionaire tell you, and you still gonna disobey. That was a sign of God right there.
yeah.
When I started seeing it, I stopped going to the morning meetings. I stopped dealing with all that stuff. I was distancing myself because I was also going through a divorce.
Yeah, that's right. So now this is where we are. So we all know Bisco went out. Everything is done. Do you remember? Because I know you were going through the divorce at the time. We're gonna touch on that a little bit too, man.
Mhm.
So you were going through that at the ass, the digital real estate and Bisco, BW, everything else was falling down. Do you remember the last day go as being tapped into Bisco, ABS, BWO? Do you remember the last day? Was it a gradual fall off, or you just stopped, or was there a day that you just said, "That's it. You won't have to worry about me tomorrow, or now another day.
Oh,
I'm done with
oh yeah, it was up because again, you remember Kane had the text message thing, and
you." Yeah.
then the they had the little CRM where we had to answer all of the stuff. Now be
Uh.
this that now understand this.
Okay.
Everybody that learned how to use the sales system or the customer service system came from Kane taught me and I taught them. So I'm looking at them. How you think you know how to mess with this thing better than me? And the person that invented it taught me. So
Uh.
some people start catching they getting out of pocket. So when I had enough, okay, let me restrict your access. Let me restrict your access. Let me restrict your access. Then I put on her, I put right on the banner, Jake Taylor Jacobs is a thief. On the thing,
Uh.
on the customer service thing, because I was done. Because I'm like,
Man.
you talking to Kane crazy, you talking to me crazy. I put it out there and I was like, okay. Then they wanted to, then Brother Khan, Ben, and Jake, they wanted to have this roundtable meeting. So they get these meetings to where they put you in there and they have conversations with you. But I say, I'm a grown man. There ain't nothing you can tell me.
Huh.
I say, I didn't watch y'all. It's nothing you can tell me to sway me to believe what y'all doing. I say, both of y'all was wrong. Both of y'all done had y'all falls. You just need to be men and take that lesson.
Hell. Yeah.
Yeah, take the lesson because I'm I like Jake, you forcing Ben and Ben, you allowing yourself to be forced. You know he doing wrong stuff that ain't correct. It just was crazy. So,
Yeah.
but I can't. I give Ben his grace because Ben also was going through a lot stuff too. But you
So.
know, at the end, I had enough. I say, bro, I put my life on the line. I put everything into this, my family, all of this type of stuff, and I'm going hard.
Mm.
And then to turn out, I'm like, you giving your money, he giving money to people that was in uh to people that didn't deserve. He buying cars for people that didn't do nothing. I'm like, you buying cars for your friends, you buying Jeeps and stuff for your friends. What about the people that actually did the work? Because when
Yeah.
I told them, I said, if it wouldn't have been for that 100K blueprint and Kane and doing all this stuff, we working on the back end, getting this, answering these people, pushing these people there, doing all of that,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have made that. And then if tell the truth, if the drop shipping bandit wouldn't have popped off, you wouldn't have
Yeah, when they even got to the other
You
part.
wouldn't have got that to the other point, but they didn't want to admit that because
Uh-huh.
it was just a bunch of jealousy amongst men. And this is a problem that as black men that we have. We want to be on top instead of
Yeah,
everybody being on an equal playing field. And I was
yeah.
like, y'all saying and putting out the message, preaching unity, but on the back end, y'all
Come on.
doing nigger stuff. And I'm getting to
Yeah.
see it. I'm getting to see it. And I'm like, yo, I'm spending money trying to get more information on e-commerce, sitting there for hours trying to figure out how to get this, that, and the third. Then I started teaching y'all how to do the stuff with BizCo and doing all
That's
that.
right.
There's people that still use that platform today.
Wow.
And I told them people, I was like, that ain't even the
What is
real
wrong with you?
platform. Yeah. I'm like, y'all, and he charging these people thousands and thousands of dollars. That platform is $30 a month
Wow.
as a thing that you can go get it and use it for whatever you want to use. It's $30 a month.
Mm.
And I'm sitting there watching you charge people 2,500 and then you don't even know how to use it.
Man.
So
Yeah. You know, one thing I saw that you were talking about just a while ago about egos and pride and everybody want to be in charge. You know, I want you to know I'm the boss. I run it. You know, this and that. That was one of the things that I saw early in it.
Yeah.
Character, man, and character will bring things down. It'll bring it to an end, real quick. You know, even as a pastor in the church, I still know that I'm nothing without all of those who are around me. So one of my things is delegating authority and respecting everyone's decision and everything that they're in charge of. You got it. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
mission ministry, the usher ministry, the choir ministry, the deacon board ministry, all these different ministries in the church. I trust them. You know what I'm saying? That they're making the right decision for the section that's on there and that they're over, that they're in charge of. And I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? You in charge. That's you got it. And I trust that because you're doing it in a godly manner. That's it. So therefore, they have as much of a voice, you know what I'm saying, as the pastor does with the direction that they go, hey, nephew, with the direction that things go. And I want them to know that. I want them to feel like, you know, I ain't doing all the thinking for everybody. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, that y'all are hands on here and hands on there. You know what's going to be best. But what I didn't see there was the different mindsets being respected.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They might tell you got this, Jason, and this and that, but it wasn't respected. They were, you know what I'm saying? They were coming in
Yeah.
trying to making sure, well, let me regulate, let me do it this way, let me do it that way. It wasn't respected, man. And therefore the people who were paying their money and members of it trying to learn, they wasn't respected either. And some
Yeah.
people want something so bad that they'll deal with disrespect. They start talking it up and saying it's a black thing. Well, no, bro.
It ain't.
If it is a black thing, it's a thing that all black people trying to get away from, to where we just numb to being disrespectful to one another, uh, talking to each other like, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
I got more money than you, nigga. I got millions of dollars. I ain't trying to hear what you saying. We got to get past that, man. You know, but society is set up that way. It's set up to where he got millions, so he always right. And that's the arrogance. That's pride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's arrogance and that's pride that's gonna come in and it's gonna do damage. And I'm not saying it just to be saying it. I bore witness to it. I saw it a 4 time, voiced my opinions of some things a long time ago, early in the program. And over time, it really wasn't that long. It all came to a head. And
Yep.
that's what it was. This character, man, behind the scenes, gonna make all the difference in
Yep.
whether or not a business function. So one thing I was saying about you on that character, I didn't want to see you lose your character because you had a different character, bro, and that's what drew me is your character. You seasoned, meaning you done
Yep.
lived a little bit more. We're not thinking like when we were 18, 19, 20 something years old. We were thinking like, man, who done been through a bunch of messed up decisions. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And we know how it is to be disrespectful to others and disrespectful to ourselves. So
Yeah.
we had a different, and so you had a different character. You had a presence about you that say, I want everybody that's tuning in to be successful. No matter how much you know or don't know, I know you can do it, and I believe in you. I believe in you. That if you follow these directions, you're gonna make it. And you had that type of attitude that encouraged people. So then once BWO, BizCo, all that is done, the next move now is no more them. You're going through that phase like we all go through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Getting over, trying to forget. Forgiveness
Yeah.
ain't nowhere in sight, but just trying to forget it so you can move forward. What happened in Jason King's life
Oh
right
man.
after that?
So after that, it was downhill for me because again, that was where I was making most of my income. I wasn't working. I wasn't doing nothing but that 24/7. The last check I got from them was probably like $3,000. So in the midst of this, I'm going through my situation. So I lost out. I ended up being, taking that money and helping my son's mom get an apartment. Get an apartment.
So you going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually took the last money that you had to help her
Oh
move
yeah.
away from you, even in the past. Because most men wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you get
Uh,
divorced, you want to leave, then bye. You know what I'm saying? But
but
you took what you had. How was you gonna eat if you what you doing that?
I wouldn't, I was just trying to, I was trying to save the relationship. I was trying to figure it out. And like, I in a sense, I have to blame myself because I was like, yo, I gave so much to that business and I was neglecting her. So I had to
Okay.
be accountable for that, but this was a situation that was probably coming a long time because we were just at friction for years. And
Uh,
so it finally came to a head, nothing bad about her, she a good mother, but at the end of the thing, it was just not built out. Hold on one second. Preston,
okay, okay.
go close the door in that room. Yeah, so it was just me and her. We was going like it was situations that I didn't understand. Like I can't, I couldn't talk to other females that I had booked consultations with because so the jealousy and the envy and like she always said she wanted all of these things. And then when I had the money to give, I had a 3-story house. I had all of that stuff. Lost the house,
Yeah.
lost everything. After that, but at the end of that, they were still trying to preserve with something with Bisco. So Ben was having me deal with another lady, Brittany. And so and she was doing Amazon drop shipping and real estate stuff. So even in the midst of me losing out with her, I'm talking, I'm trying to help other people. I'm going through this, I'm praying. And so then I prayed to God and I said, God, this woman's supposed to be with me. Let her be with me. If she not, let her go. And
Okay.
God saw fit to just let us go our separate ways, and I was upset. I'm talking about Brother Land. I was like, when you being a husband and you doing everything you trying to go through, the world
Wow.
don't have no remorse for a man. Not a
No.
So I ended up being homeless. I was I had spent my last bit of money learning how to do this credit stuff and learning business funding. So I repaired some people credit, and then all of a sudden I had hundreds of people credit because God had blessed me. He said, yep, I'm gonna get you back there, and gave me the money to get all of that stuff. So I got there, I got the money, I got an apartment, I went back to work, and I was working at Lifetime Fitness, going through.
Okay.
When I tell you I was going through hell, I was going through hell because I was trying to deal with her, and then found out that she was cheating the whole time.
Wow.
So
Man. Now
we were,
look, because it's amazing because you said that you asked God to, if it's gonna be a divorce, to let it be. And then when
let
he
it be.
gave you the answer, you said you were bad as all get out. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it ain't what we always expect. we think that it's gonna be well, we don't understand that it's favorable to us because God's
Mm-hmm.
ways are not our ways, and his thinking is not our thinking, it's above ours. And so
Yeah.
the initial answer that you got from God didn't seem favorable to you at the time.
Yeah.
And so now you operating under obedience, kind of like this. Well, I asked God, this is what it is. I don't like the answer, but I'm gonna keep on pressing
Yeah.
forward. And so you in that zone right now because not really understanding. Excuse me, there was a call trying to come in. Uh, so you in that type of zone right now, not really understanding
Mm-hmm.
what it is that why God said no. You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
still operating under this stress. Now it could be dangerous for you, health
Yeah.
wise, mental wise, communicating with other people. That's a dangerous place to be in,
Well,
bro.
this what I learned. Sometimes God blessings don't come with good feelings. They come with pain.
Woo!
They come with pain. And I went through pain. I went through
Uh,
pain. And so, you know, I was just trying to figure it out. I'm working at this place, Lifetime Fitness, and I was like, I'm just around people that work out, and I'm thinking they good people, but not in no, it was just terrible. So it was just
yeah.
bad there. I got around more bad people, and I was still doing the credit repair stuff. I'm working with Brittany. I'm still trying to have a mentorship. I fixed her credit. I did all the things for her. You know, we
So with
started.
the with that and now you, because I remember you told me, I don't think everybody else knew, you had told me that you had found out about her infidelities had been going on for a long
Mm-hmm.
time. And it's just like, did you at that time, did you feel like anything that you had did for her? Remember we talked earlier, you said you did all this to make sure she was set up good. You didn't know about the infidelity at that time. Did it make you feel like
No,
anything that you did in vain? Are you still glad you did
she
everything you
had done
did,
that.
even though you found out?
She act out of aggression, so she done that before. So with all of that,
Oh,
I
so this was nothing new for the relationship. You
no,
had,
this wasn't nothing new because so I had she had done it before, so I was like the reasoning for the like the separation and divorce was because I was talking to a certain lady and she got into my phone and went on here and started talking back and forth to the lady and got jealous. So then she was angry.
uh,
So I was like, you and your emotions about something that somebody paid me to do. And I was like, yo, that's not cool. And I just chunked it up to, hey God, I understand. But as it unfolded, I started with that anger. I was like, you know what? I unleash everything when I talked to her in the beginning. I would
mm.
all the emotion I tell her about herself. I was like, you're foul. You do this, this, and third. You talking about, and then as it gradually got calmer, I was like, I can't keep giving my energy to this person.
Yeah,
And
most men wouldn't even go as far as you went, bro. I mean,
man,
that's
brother
your
Lane,
job. You talk to all kind of people when you repairing credit. Some men,
yeah,
some women, some young, some seasoned. You know, you're gonna
but
get that. I mean, you can't do your job without talking to all kind of folk. But
it's
she took it and went and decided to cheat because of the fact that you holding phone conversations. Do people not realize that a lot of people we talk to, we don't even see them face to face?
yeah.
You
So
know, they live in different states.
it
You know,
was, but it was a sense of her. I felt like since I wouldn't go back out and do the same thing that she did,
uh,
that was her way of getting that relief because she wanted me to seek revenge so she could say he did this too.
you
Because
did it too.
it did get into we did get into some physical altercations, fighting amongst each other. And I was like, yo,
Mercy.
this ain't it. This ain't
No,
it.
that show ain't it.
Cause I'm like, you gonna have me in jail because you getting to the point to where I'm about to really, really get busy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
even that, I still showed her grace. I was like, after the fact, I was like, I found out she was doing all of that. I was like, listen, don't have this man around my son trying to play daddy. And I was like, because he got it, father. And I told her, I said, I'm not finna have it, because if you got him around there, he do something to my son, it's up. I say, I'm gonna tell both y'all up. And I told her, and I said, out of all the stuff, I was like, she got in there, she did all that, her car broke down. I bought her a new car. I did a lot of stuff, Brother Land, in God's grace to help her. And then I just prayed. I prayed and I said, well, I gotta separate myself from this woman, because it's just like God kept telling me, he said, no, when you said you need to be away from her, be away from her. Get away.
Yeah, man, you know, I appreciate your honesty on the fact that you were like, it got so heated that sometime it did get physical. The reason why I'm saying it is not to condone the action, of course not. Should none of us ever do that. But some of us have been through there. It's a lot of brothers who have been through physical altercations with women in their past, probably some of the women that they still with, you know, God forbid. And I pray that things have been resolved, or that they mature enough to know that they just can't be together to keep them both alive. But what I'm saying is, being a brother who went there, and many other brothers who may be listening to this who went there before, your life ain't over with. It don't mean you cannot, yourself cannot be redeemed, and you can go on and be the type of man that you're supposed to be. But trying to hide it and act like that's something, oh, I ain't never did that, because it's a lot of talk out there. Oh man, put his hand on me, he ain't nothing but a, you know, this and this and this and that, this and that, you know. And people talk real crazy about that, but there's a lot of men who done went there, but they ain't the same man they used to be. They've matured, and God done help them, you know what I'm saying, move from that. I think we look at these situations and we do more to criticize them, and we just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? We insult the brother was in a bad place. You know, it's just like drug addiction, alcohol, and anything, you know, dealing with his anger. But God can help that brother too. So I'm not just praying for the sister who was a victim of that. You know what I'm saying? And let's go for the women who lash out on men and want to throw stuff and hit on a man, and then all of a sudden, if he hits you back, he the one that's wrong.
Yeah, he the one that's
Now,
wrong.
y'all sisters need to stop that stuff too, and mature into the type of woman that know, I'm gonna keep my hands to myself. I'm not gonna, you know, try to beat up on me because I know he ain't supposed to hit me. We got to stop that type of stuff. So in those situations, what I'm saying, I'm just glad that God has brought about a change in you, bro, to where you can see, you know what I'm saying, that that ain't the direction you need to go. I'm glad you moved away from it without going to jail, without going to prison, because I wasn't so lucky. I was a fool. You know what I'm saying? A real fool. You know, so you know, God had, there was a complete change that had to come off over me, because I didn't have none for male or female. And that was a dangerous place for me to be. I could have been and got myself killed the way I was acting, you know. So but I know what God will do. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in my marriage now, man. I thank God that, you know what I'm saying, I do things differently. You know, we have disagreements, we've had arguments, but the thought that I used to have, and the thing now, you know what I'm saying? I'm so far from it, man, that you know, I just kind of laugh at disagreements, because it's just like I don't, it's just not a part of who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that wouldn't even make sense. But you know, then I couldn't understand it. I couldn't see it. But I thank God that over time that He's allowed me to live long enough to see that, to understand it. Life is so much better. You know what I'm saying? But I don't take nothing for granted. You know, I was so down on myself for what I did do in my past. At first I was just like, man, I ain't gonna never be able to redeem. You know what I'm saying? To move forward again. But God will give you an opportunity to start over fresh, man. You know, to resurrect your character and who you are as a man, man. And I'm grateful for it. I see it in you, and I know you're grateful for it. So the fact that you said that and you were open with it, man, that's growth.
Yeah, you know, man. I'm an open book. I'm an open book, man.
Yes, sir, man. God bless you, man.
And that's one thing. That's how I ended up in digital real estate. I try to find somebody that was closer to God, because I was like, you know, again, I'm dealing with her, and I was like, yo, all of this stuff you're doing, like I was dealing with a person that never saw wrong in the things that they did. But the things that I would do, it was the end of the world. So
Mm.
when I remember one time I was telling her about some things, and like she'd always say, I don't like when you say I told you so. And I was like, I'm not trying to tell you something, but I'm telling you from my experience, this is gonna be the end result.
Yes,
So
sir.
even though time passed, I had to get past it. Like I had to put it in what I pray. Like the one thing people don't understand, I say I may not be a church going person, but I'm a Bible reading person and I'm a praying
Okay.
person. And I was like, I had to put everything in God's hands and God, and I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
and I keep doing it. And I was like, I went through ups and downs, ups and downs. So that's life. People don't get that God put you in situations to where you say you want to do this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna test you and see
Come on.
can you go through because you got to come out of the wilderness. Like I thought I was out of it, brother Land, but boy, I'm still in
Huh.
it. I'm still
Have
in
mercy. Have
it.
mercy. So now you are, glory be to God, because we're gonna get to that too. The not church going, but Bible studying, Bible reading, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've asked some other brothers about that too. So I want to get your intake on it. So, but now you are we through with that. Now you're establishing stuff with Brittany. You're
Mm-hmm.
establishing a business because you say you met Brittany through Ben, and so y'all bringing y'all minds together. You with
Yeah.
credit repair, and her with real estate,
Real
physical real
estate.
estate, flipping.
Mm-hmm.
So what brought it about? How did y'all come to understand that this is gonna work? Y'all,
Well,
what made you feel like this gonna work?
me and Brittany was like, we we just clicked off when we met each other. It was like, okay, because Ben introduced us and he like, go get with her to the da 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 da. And we started talking. We At first I was kind of iffy, but then I went and I was like, okay, well, let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do that. And I started teaching her the same stuff that I was teaching you. And
Uh-huh.
it was up, and it was pretty good chemistry between us. It wasn't really no bad blood, but
Yeah,
you know, I was always there for her. I try to make sure I took care of everything. I made sure that I wasn't trying to do nothing wrong by her. So I would always
yeah,
be there and just, hey, this is what you need to do, Brittany. This is what you need to do. Because I remember when she was trying to get her Instagram to go up, and I told her this, you do this, and then you'll start making headway. And then one day she went from 2,000 to 40,000 to probably she about I was 300,000 now people.
okay,
So everything I told her worked, and between me and her, we were just doing everything. I started setting up another thing. I set up this stuff. We started a group. We did this,
yeah,
but Brittany is kind of headstrong, and we were starting to clash at the end because I was like, "Yo, Brittany, I'm putting out a lot of money doing this," but I wasn't telling her. I should have been more clear in what was going on, but I didn't see it I was trying not to. I was trying not to put the burden on her. I wanted to make sure that I could have enough money to get everything going the right way. So I'm
yeah,
like, let's this the beginning of the stuff. We don't need to be, I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to take lead, and I'm like, listen to me. We can't spend all of the money that we making right now. We need to put that money back into the business because that's how I
yeah,
was thinking, but it wasn't the way that she was thinking. She was thinking that money could help her on some bills and do all this and do all that. And I was like, but that's not gonna help the business. We got to focus on the business first. And it kind of
yeah.
got in a heated argument, got situations, and then we ended up splitting, parting ways. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I hated that, man, because I love both of y'all, man, and I learned so much from both of you. I'm still using things you taught me and things she taught me
yeah,
to this day. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Land by his land for real, bro. You
mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying? Making it work and learn that from her. And
yeah,
and the credit repair thing, my score is steady going up. And you know what I'm saying? Everything that you say, the benefits of things that you taught me, I'm still getting that. And I hated that, man. I really hated to see y'all
yeah.
go separate ways. I really did, man.
Yeah, it
Really
was
did.
it hurt me too, brother Land, because she a sweet girl. It's just that
Yeah.
that hunger for success in her, it I think right now the hunger to be something of a business mogul in women right now is over. It's just it's like a beast of burden. They want to be
Uh,
6, 7 figure earners. They want to be seen. They want to compete with the high
mm,
level earners. And I was like, yeah, that's true. You can compete with us, but men don't care about that type of stuff. No matter
yeah.
how much we say, we just want y'all to be loving and caring. But
Yeah.
even at the end of it, I met another guy, and I thought he was legit with the stuff. He reached out to me, so I'm going through these cycles with these people, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
So I got with this guy, and then I ended up making a good little bit of money. I made my first 100,000, and then I made 50,000, made another 50. So I ended up putting myself in a good place, and I ended up resigning from my job, and now I'm doing this stuff full time. But I felt, uh, when I say stuff with me and him went crazy, I was like,
Wow.
again, that millionaire mindset of pride.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I
Okay.
got to the point we was going to the point in the credit repair business that I needed help. I was like, I can't
Okay.
deal with 2, 3, 400 people that you sending me, and then you not processing these people. You're not evaluating their credit.
Vetting them. You
You're
ain't vetting
not
them
vetting them. You're
properly.
not even seeing
Yeah.
if they got something going on. And I say, hey, you need to stop doing this. So in a position that he looking at me like an employee instead of looking at me like a partner. And I told him it ain't
Yeah.
gonna be, and I said it's not gonna be none of that. I've been down that road. I said, you're not finna treat me like I work for you. And he said that
Yeah.
one day, and I said, no, I don't work for you. I work for myself, and I can
Uh,
show you better than I can tell you. And I think it kind of rubbed him the wrong way, because
yeah.
he acted very immaturely. Instead of him talking to me, he just stopped. Stopped responding, and we had 141 people to deal with, and I was like, all of these people in here getting their credit repaired. And then when it comes to you doing the business, because he did the same thing that Brittany did, but at a higher level.
Uh,
But when it came to teaching these people and getting really down to it with them, he wasn't doing it. So I got
have
people
mercy.
in the group reaching out to me. Hey, he not answering the emails. He not answering the phone calls. So I'm praying. I did the same prayer that I did. I do everything. God, if this person is supposed to be with me, let them be with me in this business. And if he is not, let him go on by the wayside. So I
Okay.
got there and I had enough. One day I was like, hey, I had somebody email me like a mile long that I said, hey, I don't know what's going on with this person. I've been emailing him, calling him, no answer. So I'm saying, if y'all trying to reach out to him, do whatever. And I put the message in the group, and I kicked him out of the group. And then his wife was in there, and I kicked her out too. I was like, y'all both in here lying to these people. You done stole
Mm.
over $100,000 from them. And
Oh man.
it's money. I didn't put 40, I didn't pay this man $40,000, this, that, and the third, doing all of this stuff.
What?
Yeah, and he taking the money, doing all of this, and he's saying one thing to him online. He a person on the facade online is as if he care for the people, but when he on the phone with me, he money is money. We don't care. We taking all this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's
That's
not
not.
what I'm about. I like that's not the message that I'm trying to portray to these people. I'm trying to help people get out of circumstances regardless, because people
Yes.
get in their own way. The disbelief that they have for me is because of somebody else that's doing like you doing this to these people. You unrighteous.
Have mercy.
And I was like, you keep doing this. And then after that, I split ways with him, and then I started for myself. And my other little friend Kenya, she was always asking me. She's like, "Hey, I can help you. I can help you." I was looking for a VA, and I was saying, I need a VA." But then I told her, I had known her since all of this stuff with uh what is it? ABS, BizCo, BWO, whatever. I known her for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years, but I had to vet her because I said, "Hey, I don't want to put you in here in this business because this credit repair business is up and down.
All
Sometimes
right.
it's up, sometimes it's down, and then getting people to trust you is crazy because the lack of accountability that we have for stuff that we do will bring up. I know people, they'll bring up and they'll charge up to $60,000-$30,000 in debt and then expect you to fix their credit for $200.
Yeah.
And I'm
Have
like,
mercy.
that's not how that works. I like, you
No,
got
it
all
ain't.
of this work and then you want it to be done the next day. I was like, where's your grace? Where's your accountability
Understanding.
and
Yeah.
understanding? So
Yeah.
when I tell people, I like, no, I got a team. I got people that's behind me. You can't tell me what you're gonna pay me. I'm like, you're gonna pay this, and we can set up arrangements, and I get it done for you. So once I
Yeah.
brought her on, I was like, Brother Land, I swear everything God had I ever prayed for in a person that's a business partner, everything that I ever needed, that lady,
Uh-huh.
she brought the organization, she brought the understanding, she brought just the conversation,
Compassion.
the compassion, everything that I needed, God put into that one person and brought to me. And so
Now
when
it
I
seems like from what you said, she's a God-fearing woman too.
yes,
She's a God first type of person.
yeah, she went through her trials and tribulations and she got baptized and gave her life to the God. And I seen like, and she just a blessing to me. Like I tell her that every day, you my blessing. I was like, you don't understand how much of my life you changed. And I was like, you be so supportive to me when I'm not supportive to myself, but you speak life. Like I said, we equally yoked. Like, even
Mhm.
if I have something going wrong, she'll get me out of there. She got something going wrong, I get her out of there. So God sent me the right person in business to work with. And so
Glory be to God.
everything, like I tell her, like when she was first got in, she was and we was doing business funding, and she was like, I don't understand why you sending me so much money. I would tell her, I say, since you've been here, it's easier for me to work on the business, not in the business. So I started doing that, and it made it simple for me. And man, I just praise her because God, I be like, God, I was like, I pray for her every night. I pray for all the people that I've been through these trials and tribulations through, even my
Yes,
son's
sir.
mother, even Ben, even though I have such ill will towards some of them, I still pray for them because
Already.
I realize what God is doing for me is
Yeah.
changing me. So I started dealing with other faith-based businesses. And I told myself, I'm going to give this business to God and let the
Come on.
people that's dealing in God's will come to me, because like it's people out there that's doing business and just don't understand, like, why am I breaking even? I like, well, you got to learn how to do leverage with credit, use your business credit and save your money, because we don't get it. But
You
it
know,
took
with that
somebody.
being said, I'm I bet I'm glad you said that. Giving it to God and encouraging people to get an understanding about this business with God first. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
means you showing and representing the way that God do business.
Yeah.
That's when you give your business to God. So with that, you know, earlier you had said, you know, you don't go to church, but you always you in the scriptures, you reading the
Mm-hmm.
Bible and everything. The point about this is the point I'm making, because you know, as a pastor, I'm always going to encourage people to come in because the
Mm-hmm.
scripture teaches us when you read, don't forsake to assemble yourselves like
Yeah.
some do. So it's good to come together. Now that don't mean you always got to come together inside the church building, but you need to be together with other believers and study. It's good to have that studying with other believers, speaking
Hmm.
directly about the word of God and what it's trying to teach us. Putting everything else to the side and focusing on y'all's relationship with God, coming together that way. That's how iron sharpen iron. You
Yeah.
know, and then you're strengthened in the group to go back out and do your thing in this world, but not of this world,
Hmm.
as we're called to be in the scripture. So, do you see yourself? I mean, like right now, you might not be in the temple all the time, but do you see yourself setting up something or being a part of a setup that's just straight spiritual? Just, if it's an online Bible study or anything like that, oh, you already doing it. I just don't know about it yet.
See,
There
see,
we go.
see, there you
Come on.
go. Now, remember how I told you that this woman a blessing. Now she said that too. The same thing you just told me. She said, Jason, you need to find a congregation. And while she was
Right.
doing that, I was online, it's a guy, it's a lighthouse ministry out here. The
Okay.
brother, he's Shawnee O'Neal's husband. I can't think of his name, but he has it. He has a church out here. And I said, well,
Okay.
she said, go look and go find a congregation to become a part of, but make sure you find the right one for you.
That's
And that's
right.
what I was like, again, and now hearing you say it, that's the second confirmation from God. Because I always
Mhm.
wait for two confirmations. You say, yeah, you doing what I'm telling you to do, but now it's time for you to go back to the temple. Because again, I don't have no neglects of going to church, but where I'm from, my city, I
Okay.
was so close knit to everybody in my
Yeah.
town because I just knew them. Now, when I got out here, I was dealing with my brother and and stuff, and he was trying to be like a pastor and doing all this stuff. But I was like, yo, you doing this out of your misdealings in your life. You're not really doing this as a calling from God. So it was a
Have
weird
mercy.
feeling. So I hadn't been looking for no congregation, but I still, I got like 4 Bibles, brother, and every time
Mm.
I get to the point where I need to go, I go into scripture and I said, well, I have to go back and I have to put myself in a place where I know that it's unity. Because you like you say, when two or more are gathered, he is present. So I
Right.
have to be in the presence of God. So when I'm saying I'm gonna get a business to God, I got to give myself back to him also.
Already.
So yeah, I understand that wholeheartedly. And you the
Yes, sir.
second person to say that. So I was looking at it yesterday. I said, I'm finna find a church to go to and go sit my butt up here for an hour or two and just get that
Already.
word back into me
Is
because
there is Yes, sir. That's right. Is there anything that you think might be blocking you from going besides you? I mean, because we can
no,
have our own thing, but is there anything that you might be like you on the outside looking in, critical of, and you're like, man, I really don't like that about these churches.
no,
Or
it's
not really?
out here.
Yeah.
So out here in Houston, you the one thing I can say is that this city is I would say it's close to being Babylon. So
Have mercy.
I have to be careful of whom I'm dealing with out here and how I move because some of these people say that they righteous and they not. Cause I was dibbling dabbling with that man Joel Osteen going out there
Oh
to his
boy.
church. And then I was
Yeah.
like, they found $2 million in in the walls of his church. And I was like, what
Uh,
what was going on there? I was like,
yeah.
that was the money for the congregation, and it's in the walls of the church. And he couldn't explain. Well, he could explain it, but he wasn't going to explain it.
There you
But
go.
I just have to, I had to pray for foresight and I pray that God guides me because there's so many churches out here. But I just try to, you know, find the one that gives me comfort. And if I don't see one that's like that, I go to the thing that's online because the Lighthouse Ministry stuff they have it where you can register online and go to church through, sit in
Okay.
there. but I
All
do
right. I
try
mean,
to
look,
get.
I say this, make sure, whatever you do, make sure that you look into the fact that they're teaching more
Hmm.
than entertaining. See, it's one thing to tell the story, but scripture is lined out to where every event is according to what was happening at that time. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So ministry is supposed to impact your present life, not just tell you a story about what's done happened and we get all excited and tingling about, wow, that was a beautiful story. No,
hmm,
there's stories in the book, but they were real-time events. It's how it's lined out that they were real-time events, or it's prophecy about things that are happening real time today. And it's teaching us how we need to operate in real time. So if there's more hooping,
hmm,
entertaining stuff going on than what there is teaching, I'd say beware of that. You know what I'm saying? Beware of those type of
yeah,
congregations because many people are drawn to entertainment. They
yeah,
love that because it's like watching TV. They walk, ooh, that was
yeah.
good. And they walk about. So how does it impact your life though? But how do you apply it to your daily walk? And if people can't tell you that, then they weren't learning nothing in there. All they did was hear the story. And we can go
Hmm.
anytime and watch a good movie and we know how the story ends. All
That's
happy.
true.
Oh yeah, that's a story. But do you know how to live the life? These are supposed to be life-giving teachings. So therefore, my brother, I would, caution you to not look at it, especially out there in the city. More don't always mean better when it comes to church.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to church, just because there's a lot of people up in there, that don't mean that that's better. A lot of times you got a lot of people out there in these churches, man, Brother King, they letting anything go. Things
I
that God
know
has
it.
always said it's an abomination in His sight. But now the church, if you can pack more people in here, oh, it's all good. You brothers, come on, get married. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
sisters, come on, and y'all get married to each other. See, we got that a lot of that happening right now, and we have to be careful because if that's foul, you imagine what other teachings that come through there
Yeah.
that ain't gonna be right, man. So people are doing things to make themselves comfortable. And the word of God ain't really never made anybody living outside of it comfortable. It's
Yeah.
gonna make you uncomfortable. It's
That's
gonna
true.
prick your heart. Yeah, it's gonna prick your heart to change and be who it is that God wants you to be, and less of who we have been ourselves. So please be careful that if you feel real comfortable with the message and you think it's validating your
Hmm.
lifestyle instead of convicting you to make changes in your lifestyle, that's probably the place you want to be. The real messages of God is going to prick your heart to accept change or to make changes. You know what I'm saying? And to walk in that change, to
Yeah.
walk in a different environment, man. If it's not doing that, man, hey, I feel for anybody that's just comfortable. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because then you ain't moving. You're done moving, man. And people take God's mercy and grace for granted, Brother King. And don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Let him keep
Hmm.
blessing you. Keep taking heed to that, man. And I know it's gonna be all right, but I'm glad that you said what you said because you ain't the only one who have a relationship with God, but yet you don't have that church home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That environment. But keep going in that process. Keep growing. Don't stop looking. Because that's what the scripture said. Seek and you shall find. So keep looking until God prick your heart. You say, "This is it. This is it right
Hmm.
here. This the one." Keep doing that. Uh, so now your own business, giving
Woo.
it to God. How is I can imagine the trial. What's the good thing and what's the worst
The
right now with
good
it being on you?
the good thing I would say, for the people that are trustworthy of me, for the people that understand me and they really, they don't look at like, okay, investing in me is a problem. Because once they do it and then they see the results, it's a joy. Because that's all I wanted in the beginning, was people to, okay, just trust me and listen to me. And when you reap the benefits, then let's go to these other parts and other avenues. I can teach you about this, that. So as far as that, the pros of it, man, once you
Yeah.
help somebody, I done
Yeah.
seen somebody on, I've seen people have 400 credit scores, 300 credit scores. I done had
Me.
somebody that had, listen, Brother Lane, I had somebody have a
Yeah.
zero. I'm talking about
A
zero.
zero. I didn't even
Nothing.
think you could have a zero.
Yes, I done had people that I didn't had zero credit scores turned around, 695, six something
Ooh.
in one round. So when I go in and I'm doing the work, because my biggest thing, like when I was working with the guy from the other business, I was like, we keep
Yeah.
getting people that ain't doing this the right way. It don't feel righteous to me. I like you want the money, but you don't want the suffering that comes with it. I say the
Uh,
suffering ain't always bad, but I gotta
come on.
go through those things to help them people. So,
Yeah.
and I like you said last time, like I thought about that when I was having a conversation with Kenya. I said, you told me that my purpose was always helping people. And I was like, that's what my name means. Jason means to help. So I
Okay.
was like, I was looking at all of that stuff, and then I was saying, but I look at the cons and I'm finna get to the cons in a minute because it's a mess. But
Okay.
I look at the blessings that I can bring, because once people understand that how this system is made, not the country itself is corrupt. Yeah, we can't change how the paradigm of corrupt people have put this into play. But once we get
Yes.
into the place where we can maneuver the right way, we can make this system work for us. And
All
that's
right.
one thing that I tell people, learn how this stuff works, because we, especially as colored people, we go in our own type of system. It's like mattress money. Save up your bread, then take it all and put it on one thing.
Yep.
That is
Yep.
destructive, because you took
Yep.
all your liquid cash, instead of you looking at your credit,
Mm.
you took that money that you worked for and you bet all of that money on one thing. If it don't work, then you got to start all the
You
way
out.
up. You out.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to
So
live like that. Cash only, just cash, cash, cash. I didn't think about credit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I didn't think about it at all, but you changed my mind on that. So
Yeah.
now the cons.
Woo. So the cons of this, like dealing with people that they don't want to accept what they done.
Uh-oh.
They,
Accountability.
yeah, accountability. So the first thing, I try to go take them through pillars of this. I explain. I did this yesterday because, again, that blessing that I be talking about, she told me, say, hey, we gotta find some way to show these people what we doing in here so they can see. So I did that last night, and I'll say, Kenya is done. Go take a look at it. And I looked and I told people, okay, we're gonna go through step by step. So I want you to see that I'm not doing wrong by you,
Already.
because they very conscious of how people have been scamming people, because
Scamming.
we got a lot of people out here take their money and then they don't dispute or do nothing. But I told them
Hmm.
it's a certain way that you're supposed to do these things, and when you're doing the right way, stuff comes out. But the first thing is the accountability. The second thing is the assurance. The third thing is I had to learn how to read people and to hear what they saying, because if I hear somebody asking about a contract, a guarantee, I already know this person ain't gonna be an accountable person. It's gonna be somebody that I'm gonna have to keep dealing with and keep trying to pester to do
Uh,
right. So I had to learn to let go of people that wasn't in that realm. So
uh,
because I had to understand, it's people right now that's still in a wilderness stage. So they in a lower self. They
Yeah,
doubt, they doing this, they doing that. And I was like, you got to come out of that and give people trust. Because if you don't trust me, then I can't help you.
that's right.
I
So you
can't
do
help
take the time, you do at least put up that effort though to advance them. You know what I'm saying? To
mentally.
let me say it like this: the scriptures say, what does it say? God uh, blesses those who diligently seek Him. You know, you
Mhm.
have to do your due diligence. That means detailed type
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, because I'm listening to you real good and what you're saying. And I think one of these things is like I've been seeing online a lot is people talking about if ain't nobody in your level, you need to get rid of them people. Stop. That's not scripture. That ain't
Mm-mm.
scripture.
That's
Because scripture tells you what does it, he said, what does it profit you to bless those who can bless you back? You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
What will it profit you to just love those who already love you? You know, he said, even the tax collectors do that, even sinners do that. I need you to look out for people who don't know how to look out for themselves, who
Yeah.
probably ain't even in a position to pay you back. You know, they credit is messed up bad. And to really help them people, it's gonna take a lot of you to get them in the
Mm-hmm.
mind frame to understand what they need to do to help themselves. That's when you're being a blessing. Because if somebody already got it, they already got the understanding, yeah, it'll make it easier for you. But have you really done anything? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not the righteous that need the doctor, it's the sick that need the doctor, not the ones who are
Mm-hmm.
already healthy. You know, sometimes um, I knew what I should have did. Let me say it like this. I knew what I should have did, and I could see where I messed up at. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
just need to go on and do right. That's pretty much all the time you needed to spend with me. You know what I'm saying? This is how
Yeah.
you do right. Now you go and do what you know you need to do, brother. And you see where you messed up at. So you don't need to talk to me every other day to make sure, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you see that. But there are others who need that type of attention. They need you to do your
Mm-hmm.
due diligence and pay that type of attention to them. And that's the difference because that's how your blessing from God, your gift from God to help people is really exposed.
Yeah.
Because the more people you got to say, man, I didn't understand none of it. I didn't even realize what I was doing or how much damage I was doing to myself. Those are the people that I feel like God done really called you and your team to help.
Mm-hmm.
Or else you'll end up quick like old boy was. Hey, I got the money. I'm going on. If they don't do it, they just don't do it. But they don't
Yeah.
pay me, and that's exactly what you don't want to be. So the fact that you said it earlier, that you try to tell people, look, this ain't no overnight thing.
Yes.
If you this far down, it's gonna take a while for you to get it back up. And you gotta be
Mm-hmm.
willing to take these steps with me, not just me up and doing all it. You're gonna have to take certain steps. You're gonna have to listen to me. And so I just want to make sure you are giving them that opportunity
Yeah.
to do it. I know you can read and tell, oh, this is gonna be something else, but don't. I'll just ask you, don't throw them away. You know what I'm saying? Just because
Yeah.
you know this is gonna be hard, don't automatically seek to throw them away. Give them an opportunity to try to do better by themselves, because that's what God did for us. He didn't throw us away. He gave us a little more time to do right. So if we give it to God, we got to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We give our business to God, we got to do people the same way. We got to give them an opportunity to do right. So, but anyway, go ahead, bro, like you were saying, with the cons. I know it's difficult,
Yeah,
but
it's difficult. And like you said, I work with people. I tell them, hey, I can put all these, payment plans, whatever they need.
yes,
But
sir.
my biggest the cons of this is like when they I don't know what it is. It's that once they see that credit score, once they get to where they want to get, I'll say, hey, I know once you see a 690 or 650 something, don't go do it yet. We still not done. We got another
Okay.
step. So it's guidance, like me having the proper guidance over them, because again, people don't want to be told what to do. And I said,
Uh,
I don't want to tell you, but I'm gonna guide you, because I've already made the mistakes for you, so you don't have to go back and make them. So
Okay.
again, it's different, you know. Like when I joined these mentorships, like even though I joined another faith-based mentorship, and it's different between, I know it's way different between black people and white people, because the ones that I'm in now with the white people,
Yeah.
they always tell you, listen, find the people that's right for your business. That's right for
Okay.
your business, because we can put out energy to people that just, like, I had a consultation with somebody, and they didn't like the fact that I didn't send the contract to them beforehand. But I told them, I said,
Mhm.
if you would have filled out the consultation, the
Yes.
contract will be emailed to you,
Automatic. Yes.
automatic to you. But see, it was so much resistance. So that was one of the cons, like having to just get them to come to a consultation and show up. I was like,
Uh,
I would tell people, I was like, you in this field, you don't want to show up to this thing, but tomorrow, when you didn't trust in me and you go look at your credit, it's still gonna be the same. And you
have
still gonna
mercy.
have those problems. Because I tell people, it's no way around a system that they created for you to, they made the credit score for a reason. It's in the inability to not allow you to get in certain rooms.
That's right.
And
That's right. That's what it
I
is.
and getting people to understand their education like that. I'm like, you can listen to all the people. Like I told, they say it's this guy's Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey say save up your money for 75 years. I tell them, you promised 75 years on this earth.
Yeah.
I say you better quit playing with the Lord. I say I know what you're doing, but these
Yeah.
people gonna be old and wrinkled with $1 million, and they not gonna have no time, no life to live,
To spend it or
to
nothing.
spend it or
Enjoy
do
none
nothing.
of it. So you know what, King? So I know you have, I have one of your book. It's the guide handbook that you
Mm-hmm.
did a few years back. It was everything that that we put down day to day.
Mm-hmm.
The life legacy, the planner.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was looking for is, do you plan on coming with another book as far as credit, ebook or anything like that? Do you come with some literature from a different aspect? You know what I'm saying? Than
Mm-hmm.
what you would probably normally see. Because this conversation that you got right now with credit, I think people just need to get need a book to just understand the importance. Understand instead of the detail. This is what you need to do, and then you need to do this. Do this. Okay, that's the classroom. That's when they come into the mentorship on what to do. But a book about just understanding credit. You see what I'm saying? Just basically
Mm-hmm.
understanding it, the process. You know what I'm saying? What may have got you in the bad credit state, and the patience and understanding you're going to have to come up out of it. Might not be a very long book, but I think it could be a detailed conversation, a good read that people can have without trying to do a bunch of math.
Yeah.
They simple math. They need some simple 2 plus 2 understanding. This is where I'm
Mm-hmm.
at, and you're right. This is where I'm at. Okay, now here's what you're gonna have to be willing to do to get up out of. It's kind of like the conversation that we just had, but just a little more in depth without giving them buttons to push. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And stuff like that, and trying to define because this mean that and that mean that. Because a lot of times that's gonna confuse them even more. I think a book, an ebook with some general conversation about credit would be healthy. You know what I'm saying? For your
Yeah.
business. I don't know if you already have something in mind. And if you
Oh,
do, you
whew.
know, I
I
know
had
you're busy already, but
I hadn't thought about an ebook in a while, but yeah, that would be like, general conversations to an understanding of credit. That would be something that would to help people, because majority of the time when I see right now, I see all of these credit prayer people on there, and they not really telling people the right stuff. And I was like,
Come on.
and it's disingenuous. So that's why it takes, and that's another con that I have to deal with, because so many people have paid $2,000-$3,000. I know a lady that paid $15K to have her credit repaired, and the guy didn't do anything. And
Dang.
I was like, I started doing her credit, and I've done her credit now, and I'm like, I wish she would have done it earlier with me, because I was like, listen, go ahead and pay earlier. Pay earlier, because I can get this done faster. I can
Yeah.
get it done faster. I can get everything situated, but she waited such a long time. So I don't know if I can really push the stuff through like I want to. But the
Yeah.
last time I looked, her bankruptcy was removed. Her credit scores went up like 60 points on all three bureaus. But I told her, I say, I don't know what you're gonna do about when it comes to the business credit stuff, because they require you to have a certain amount of a certain credit score. And
Yes.
and that's the thing that I try to get people to really understand. Like, don't look at it as if you don't need credit because you have money. That's another
Uh,
con. People cash over credit. I like credit cash is not king anymore. Credit is always gonna be king, because credit
mm,
puts you in the room. It
mm.
will put you in the room when you don't have cash. You got
Have
credit, you
mercy.
pay it back. But like I was doing it on them the scriptures. I was reading scriptures because I posted up one of them talking about Deuteronomy 15 verses 1, and telling
Uh,
and doing you going with those the debt shall be ceased in 7 years. And
that's
I
right.
tell people, I say, but that's not how the companies work,
Come on.
because you bear witness to it. You got to the
Yeah.
6th year, they went and transferred it to another company.
Yep. Yep. That's what they'll do. Yeah.
So
And now you start all over with that company as year one.
in year
Yeah.
one. So
Year
I
one
told
with
them,
over there.
so those are the cons. I'm working on giving these people more grace. My biggest thing right now is getting them to show up. I think I was having revelations this morning. I was talking to Kenny. We was listening to the little devotional app, and it was going over Proverbs, because I try to keep that little bit of word early in the morning when I first wake up, try to get it. And it was a good little scripture. Let me think about it.
Uh,
Let me see which one it was. Cause I know it was uh Psalms. It was Psalms 30. For
okay.
the it says, as for Psalms, a song for the dedication to the temple of David. The Lord
Mm,
my God called you. I called to you for help, and you healed me. And then I was thinking about
mm.
that this morning, when we sit back and we call out for help. Those are some of the strongest prayers.
Come on
Oh,
now.
God hear you. So I think about the people, when like you said, that I got to make sure that even if they at the bottom, my goal is to get them to the top.
All right.
But yeah, I try to make a con a blessing too, because I was like, I want everybody to understand this. Like I'm trying to do this and give it to God, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do, because God has always been in my favor. He never really turned his back on me. Now I did a whole bunch of foolishness, wavered
Mm.
up and around and doing all type of dumb stuff in my life.
Yes,
But
sir.
he's always been there whispering in my ear, don't do that, boy.
Yeah, for real, for real. So now you got it leveled off. I just saw Preston back there in the background. Not just now, but earlier. We saw
Hmm.
your son there. Y'all spent a lot of time together. See, looking just like you. You
Hmm.
know, have things since the divorce and the business is up and down. Are you kind of leveled off right now? I mean, I mean, I know the trials and tribulations still there. They there for everybody. I got them in my life too.
Hmm.
You know, we gotta have some challenges. So keep us motivated and moving forward. Keep us on our toes. But compared to what it was, how far you say that you've come?
Ooh, it's Brother Land, when I tell you,
Mm,
I don't never get a chance to really tell people how rough my road has been. But you
mm,
know, I say the devil will put his work on the righteous. He'll never let you get too far ahead when he know you trying to do right for the people. So
mm.
I will say that it not is not that bad, man. I'm telling you, because God sent a lot of blessings to me, and I'm grateful for everything.
Already.
It's
Mm.
it's going way better, and I thank God for the things that He brought to me, the people that He put in my life. Because I tell you all the time, and no matter how much when I get boy, when somehow or another when I be feeling out of whack, boy, you come right in there. I was like, boy, he find a way. I was like, God find a way. He said, hey, I'm gonna send him to you. But like I said, it's been blessings upon blessings because now even though I got a business partner that she she is full of the Holy Spirit. She pray in her sleep. And
Already.
I say I thank God for her. And I thank God for my family, my father, and all the people that's around and with me. And it's not bad. The loneliness used to be the biggest thing for me because, going to having somebody there with you for every day
Yeah.
to being by yourself or then having your son every other week, it was a challenge. Now I'm
Yeah.
just in a place where I'm searching for peace and understanding, and I'm trying to do right by God. And I know God telling me, hey, you on the right path. Just be steadfast and believe in me. Cause so that's all I'm working on. Like people, like I say, a lot of people have hard time with faith. I said I ain't got a hard time with faith. I say I walk blindly with faith. It's just the world that we in.
Yeah.
I get discouraged by what I see on these platforms, how harsh we are towards one another.
Have
And I
mercy.
and I want God to you know put me in a situation to work because I thought about what you said coming to see the congregation, and I was telling Kenya, and I was so hyped to tell her that Brother Land asked me to come out there and say I don't care what it is, I'm getting ready. I'm already started putting
Yes, sir.
stuff back what I need to say, and because
Yes, sir.
she also said something like I always saw you doing like youth ministry because she say you minister towards your children and your nephew and all that stuff. And I said, yeah, I do that. And I never thought about it, but I always have had, like, when I see younger people, I was like, man, don't come here. Let me show you how to do this, that, and the third. And for those that listen, they excel. For those that don't,
Yes.
it take time. So,
Yes, sir.
but I've been, searching for a calling, and I feel like the more I gravitate towards God, the more it'll come out. And I was like, because I told him, I say, hey, show me what you want me to see and what you want me, give me the understanding. Help me in the way of your will so I can figure this out. Because most people in life, I
Mm.
tell people the richest place is the grave, but those people in the grave probably never asked God for that guidance.
Have mercy, brother. You hey, you said something there, man. So wow, that's what I'm talking about. And I see that in you. And that's what I trust the people whom God has appointed me to minister to, those who tune in from a distance as well. I trust brothers like yourself who have the heart, mind, and soul. You about outreach is just in you. You want to help
Mhm.
people. And most people that I invite to come in, I already see that in them. They generally want to help people. They ain't trying to impress nobody. They want to impact people's lives. So that way the people's lives can be better. And so when I gave you that invitation, and I'm setting that up so you could come, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, up here to Northeast Texas, man, and share with us, some detailed understanding about, you know what I'm saying, the credit repair and whatnot, and things that people can note, take home. You know, they can see you face to face instead of just online. They know, you know, you very much a real person, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, willing to come on up and talk to the people, man. And I think it'll be good. It'll be very impactful. And if God willing, God give us both the time and the grace. Uh, Soon, you know, this year before the summer ends, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, we're gonna have you up here, man. We're gonna have you up here and allow you to bless us, you know what I'm saying, with this knowledge, the importance of credit, you know, the things that you've learned and how it ties in, you know, how your faith ties into all of it as well, man. And I think it's gonna be a beautiful thing for you to minister to the people with what God has given you, business sense. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Mm-hmm.
ministry too when you teaching others, because to minister means to serve. So that means you serving people with your business knowledge, your business savvy, according to the will of God, man. And I can't wait for them to see the man who taught me business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Better, how to be better at business, so they can know that I got it from somebody else. You know, I ain't doing what I'm doing on my own. You know, God put you in my life to teach me how to be a little more diligent and not stop procrastinating. You know, I still be fighting that to this day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, to go on and then too, stop being so hard on myself, because there's a lot of things that I do, and people wonder like, how in the world do you do all that? You know,
Yeah.
but for me, it's my life. I love it. This is how I'm living, and I'm enjoying it, man. And man, you play a big role in it. You know, you play a very big role in it, and I'm ever grateful uh, to you, my brother, because you've been my friend and my brother and my teacher. You know what I'm saying? So all of that. There you go.
God bless you.
All of that, yes, sir.
Mm.
All of that wrapped into one, man, and that's a beautiful relationship to have, man. I always humble myself and be willing to learn from you, man. And I always expect, I like this brother for to show me something that I didn't realize, and I know when I apply it, it's going to produce something. It always do it. I go into it with that type of faith, and then I do the work, because
Mm-hmm.
we know the scripture say faith without works is dead.
Did.
So I put both of them together, man, and that's the reason why uh, I've been able to do the things that's going on right now. God done blessed me, and He blessed me through your teaching, man, and I love it, and I'm grateful, ever grateful, man. If there is anything that you would have for the people out there uh, that's listening, the In and Out the Pulpit audience, if you could leave them with anything, what would you give them right now? You know,
This the biggest thing. I'm glad you said that. I was thinking this morning. For all of y'all that's having troubles, that's going through all of this turmoil in your life, please don't lose sight of God. In this world, I say the devil is not gonna come straight to you. He gonna come to you in smooth ways. Cause I tell you, Lucifer was the most beautiful of all angels. He gonna whisper to you and tell you,
make it
hey,
look good.
make it look good. Yeah, you can sleep another hour. You can't, you ain't gotta turn that in today. You ain't, you ain't gotta do this. He'll work through procrastination, like you just said.
Yes, sir.
So pray for that understanding. Pray for the help. Just pray. Hear the voice of God. Cause like I can, like everybody always talking, you feel like you're crazy when you hear a voice in your head, but you always hear that voice every day. Now, if you can talk to yourself and hear yourself without saying a word, when that voice is there, that's not your voice. That's the voice of the Holy Spirit. So always understand we come from a holy trinity. We made in God's image. So we have him in us. So when we get to feeling like the way that we feel, we need to seek him. Just like you said, Brother Lamb, when I get to feeling bad or all crazy, I have to seek God. So, and
Come on.
find that righteousness, you know, find it. Because
Yes, Lord.
it's there. It's there. And like if y'all worrying about what you're gonna do, how you gonna do it, pray about it. He'll get all of that bad stuff out of your way,
Mm.
but you gotta do the work. Cause
Yes, sir.
he not gonna give it to you. Like a lot of people think he just gonna give it to you. God gave you free will
Come
for a reason. He gonna see if you gonna do what you say you gonna do. If you
on.
want to step in
Already.
and step out on faith, then you have to have blind faith. You have to walk with it. And it's hard because like I say, every last one of us will go through trials and tribulations, like ups and downs. Like, what am I doing wrong, God? What did I do this wrong? Did I say this wrong? And another thing, stay off of this place, this internet with this when you seeing this bad stuff, because they putting this stuff out to warp your mind, to
Come
make
on
you
now.
think that we ain't supposed to be equally yoked, to make you think one is supposed to be good, better than the other. Like Brother Land touched on something. Like we have people preaching success over everything and leave the people that's unsuccessful in the pits
Mm.
on the street. But then God say the meek shall inherit the world.
That's right.
So we what are we doing?
What
What
are
are
we
we doing?
doing?
We're gonna keep putting each other down, or we're gonna get together and be uplifted.
Come on. Yes, sir. Glory be to God. Man,
Mhm.
I would tell you like this. Brother asked me about prayers. I tell Zion Hill a lot of times when it come down to prayers being answered. I said, let's just be real about it. Either God is telling you to stop doing something,
Mhm.
to start doing something, or a little bit of both. The majority of your prayers are answered just like that. You either
Mhm.
need to stop doing something, you need to start doing something, or it's a little bit of both. That's what the voice of God be speaking to us when we searching for an answer to our prayer. Everything ain't hocus pocus, man. It's
Yeah.
not. I believe in miracles. Things happen that can't be explained, but 99% of our life is cause and effect.
Yep.
Reaping and sowing, the choices you make and the result of those choices coming back to you. That's 99% of life. So either the answer to your prayer is to start doing something, stop doing something, and most of the time it's a little bit of both. So, I try to simplify it, man, and what God shows me to give to the world, man, and hopefully they get an understanding of it. And I see that in you because you teach that way. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You teach just like that. Hey, man, you need to stop doing that and start doing this. And the
Mhm.
results you're gonna be different. That's the answer to our prayer. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is, man. So, man, I'm grateful to you, brother, and I'm thankful, ever grateful for your time. This ain't the end of our journey. Maybe the interview, but not our journey. Lord, keep waking
Mhm.
us up. Man, we got a lot more impact to make together as well as when we're apart on our people. Even when we ain't in the same platform, in the same room, we still have the same idea to help folk, to impact lives, man. And that's where we always connected. So I'm looking forward to us getting together.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, outside of the social media look and being face to face with some people, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. Now that it's coming back into commonality since COVID,
Mhm.
since 2020, it take a while for things to kind of get worked back into where people want to be in crowds. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how all this done transpired, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just to think 3, 4 years ago, we weren't even trying to be in the same room with the people we love. You just stayed at home. So
Mhm.
it's a lot has transformed, brother. And I just believe the more we keep showing people forward progress, the more people we're going to impact to want to keep moving forward and progress themselves. So, my brother, I love you.
I love you too,
I'm
bro.
grateful to you, Preston, man, and thank you for your prayers, not just for me and us and but for everybody, all the times that you prayed for all people, man, and especially over former things that we dealt with in ABS and whatnot, man. God bless you. That take a real mature man to admit that, you know, pray for folk that have even pray good prayers for people who even ran you hot, man. That's the growth of God's presence in you, man. And I'm grateful for you. I heard you when you said that. I had to touch that before we get off of here in case it went over somebody's head. This man praying for people that have done them wrong. You know what I'm saying? That have done him wrong, felt like he wronged them, but yet he lifted them up to God. Don't want nothing bad to happen to him more than what it already had. So it's a test of your character, man, and your faith. And man, I respect it, bro. I respect it highly, man. I'm glad to see that. Uh, that being said, man, hey, we're gonna get up out of here.
Yes, indeed.
Run this down, get this to the people, man. Tell Preston I said what's up, man. And I'm here, bro. You need me for anything, I'm here. Be on the lookout for part 2 to come later on. And next week, I'm still doing part 1. So,
Your
and
part
part
two
one,
gonna
the full, yeah, part 1 full interview will be available Monday. Then,
okay.
and then I'll start moving on part 2, releasing some of that, man. So I love it, man. Been waiting on this a minute, man. God bless you, man. God bless you, man.
You as well. You as well. It's good
Already.
being here. I can't wait till you get dirt on here where you can see.
Come on, man.
Boy.
Yes, I'm gonna call him today, as a matter of fact, because I've been meaning to call him. He done already told me. He was like, man, I know you're gonna have me on. I'm like, yeah, it's automatic, bro. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get with him today. You done brought him up, done put him in the atmosphere. So I'm gonna call him and get something scheduled out with that man. And yeah, and move forward with that, bro. As always, never goodbye or always to be continued, brother.
All right. Peace.
Peace.